So here's a video I think every guy's gonna appreciate. If you are on a budget and you ever had issues trying to figure out where to buy your clothes, I have the perfect tool resource, which is this video, to help you accomplish that. So in this video, we're gonna discuss a few brands, 3 in fact, and then I'll give you 3 honorable mentions. So 6 brands in total where you could look at and figure out if they carry anything that you would like. Plus, it will fit into a budget that is a little bit lean. Like in all my videos, there's time codes below, so feel free to skip around. But before you do, let's talk a little bit about the criteria, what the purpose of this video is and what it's not. So let's talk a little bit about the criteria, or let's set the structure of the video. I chose brands that the majority of people around the globe should be able to buy from. So we're talking about more mainstream brands. So if you live in a city where you're a little bit more, fashion heavy, you might have more niche brands, mom and pop stores or stuff like that that make their own clothing for a good price that won't make it on this list because they're more niche around your city. So I'm looking at United Kingdom, New York City, Toronto, those type of locations. We're probably not going to discuss those more smaller brands. I'm looking at mainstream brands that just about anybody who's running on a more leaner budget can go and buy something for their wardrobe and it can still fit in their budget. So A, it's mainstream, B, it's affordable, and then C, I would say has decent quality. When you're looking for things that are a little bit more affordable, you kind of got to choose between affordable and quality. But I think some of the brands on here, you'll be surprised where you could find some pretty great items that I think will be, budget friendly and can potentially stand the test of time and be, a good quality piece. What this video isn't is it's not a video to tell you how to dress. Whether you like the way I dress or you care about the information we provide at Gentleman Co., that doesn't matter. This video is more so to be a tool, a resource for you. If you're ever a person who's like, I don't know where to shop, only got $200 or $100 to buy a few items and I need help figuring out where I can go. I've been in that position, and if you clicked on this video, you're more likely in that same position. So I'm gonna give you a couple brands to think about. So this video is not telling you how to dress, more so this video is a tool / resource to use to point you in the right direction, because it's gonna be up to you at that point. I give you these brands, you're going to have to peruse their website and pick clothing that fits the taste that you're trying to go for. If you want to know how to dress, I highly suggest leveraging things like Pinterest or, watch your favorite influencer on IG. Depending on what this channel molds into, we could potentially be that for you. But nonetheless, this is more so just give you a direction on like, hey, check out these brands. So now that you understand, let's hop into number 1. And all these are in order. And number 1 is Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch, guys, news alert. Abercrombie and Fitch been killing it these, few years. I know back in the past when I was in high school, Abercrombie was more like preppy, and it still kind of is. And it was interesting. They had pretty, interesting items for being in high school. But as of late, guys, and I know that I think they switched creative directors or something a few years ago, but now a lot of their items are amazing. They're so amazing. I'm wearing one right now. It is great, guys. When you're buying anything online, don't get too wrapped up on like the brand. More so, does this item work for what I'm going for in my budget? So I think Abercrombie & Fitch is a great affordable option. And to be honest, they have some pretty quality pieces on here. I don't think you should, avert your eyes from Abercrombie & Fitch, especially when they have their sales. I caught this on sale. So you can easily go in there and find something good. And even if you're not running on a leaner budget, even if you're, shopping around, I still say, hey, go look at Abercrombie & Fitch. You could pick up something really great from there. So that's not number 1. All these are in order. That's the first place I will look at. Right now, this is subject to change. 10 months from now, I could feel like something's different. But if I was on a leaner budget, this is the first place I'm just looking at to see if I could find anything. Next is Mango Man. Guys, I really like Mango Man. I like their style. Again, when you're looking at more affordable options, you're not gonna have the highest quality. So I hope you guys understand that when watching this video. But from a stylistic perspective, Mango Man's awesome. It's one of these brands that, mainstream, you could pretty much find in any mall or most malls, or, you know, maybe your next town over for most people in a developed society, or if you just have a laptop, you can go online and buy. Mango Man is an awesome place that I often check if I was running on a leaner budget. I think from a style perspective, I love kind of like the minimal look with a flair or a nod to the modern man. You can find a lot of good, you know, appealing items on here. Maybe you saw it in your mall and you walked by and you thought it was something else. No, go in that store. You can find a pretty wide variety, or, you know, pretty good selection of clothing that are affordable, especially if you catch it on sale, specifically online too. Online has a lot of great sales, and that simple, you know, modern look that they do well. I think for most guys, you could find something there that could fit in your budget and you could potentially like. Third, and this is the last brand I'm going to recommend for you guys, is Nordstrom. But specifically, before you guys have a heart attack and be like, Nordstrom's expensive, calm down, man. I'm not finished. Nordstrom, but their more generic line, or their line that they own. So think about if you go into Whole Foods has a selection of foods and food brands you could buy, but then they have their specific branding of food that they create. This is kind of like that with Nordstrom, and more affordable, budget-friendly prices. So we're talking about Open Edit and BP. I think they're both great brands. I've owned things from them both because I wanted to pick something up quick, or just like the style. Sometimes it's just that you see something real quick, you might be going somewhere and you're like, oh man, I need something quick, or you just really like the style and you have a fit idea you want to pull off. Nonetheless, if you go into a Nordstrom, for some of you guys, don't be too intimidated to walk into a Nordstrom. It's not, you know, super high end or anything, but some people are intimidated by it, because if you go to certain selections or certain areas in Nordstrom, you will find Open Edit, BP there. And these are more budget friendly brands that stylistically, they look awesome. Like I told you, I own some of their brands and it's super budget friendly and it looks really good. And like with anything, if you take care of it, it will last a lot longer than you think it would. So that's all the brands. I have a few honorable mentions, and like I promised, I have 3. Before I get in those honorable mentions, if I didn't mention your brand, it's A, because I never bought from there, or I haven't bought enough from them, or B, I just don't like them. So if I mention something that you don't necessarily agree with, add to the conversation, don't take away from it. So if I missed a brand, I probably just didn't add it on there. Say it in the comments below. Say a few brands that might help someone, because people will read the comments. And then you could add even more value to this resource, which is this video. So the first of the honorable mentions, and before you guys click off and you're like, nah, not this brand, is Zara. Look, before, I know you're like, oh my God, fast fashion. I mean, these brands are fast fashion, kind of. Maybe the exception of like not ABERCROMBIE and FITCH. But look, Zara, stylistically, Zara is nice. Honestly, it's really nice, because if Zara had the quality of like a Bruno Cucinelli, guys, we would be eating that all up. It would be aspirational pieces for a lot of people, but you know, it's at a more budget-friendly option. I think stylistically, Zara looks really good. You know, this video is not for, you know, quality versus, you know, unquality items. I would say graduate past Zara at some point in your life. I do believe that. I'm not saying never buy from there again, because I have a few pieces like here that I bought from them that I think are, you know, really good pants, 100% linen, that, you know, hopefully holds up. It fits fairly okay. It wasn't expensive at all. I think they were like $60 or something like that. So don't knock Zara. I know it's fast fashion. Everybody shops from there, but stylistically, it's really good. And I think it's going to fit in most of you guys' budget, to be honest. So that's my honorable mentions. I wouldn't throw it up there with the ones I mentioned previously, but I do think this is one that you should take a gander at. Next is Banana Republic. Yeah, Banana Republic. And I remember this brand back in like high school days and stuff like that. But they do a lot of good stuff too, man. They remind me kind of like Mango Man, particularly online. I haven't had a huge successes in their stores, but I'm a bigger guy, so online's really how I shop. But you could find, again, similar to Mango Man, that nice modern nod, simple look. They have some stylish tones to everything. This is a brand that I bought a few items from the past, and it was good for what it was worth. And, you know, it looked really good for the first couple of wearings. budget friendly, definitely budget friendly. If you catch them on sale, super budget friendly. It's a brand you should check out. Last of the honorable mentions is Topman. Yes, Topman. There was like a huge craze when Topman was first its own thing. I think ASOS owns majority stake in this brand now. You can find them at Nordstrom. So if you walk into Nordstrom, like one of my previous mentions in this video, you can find Topman garments there. Super budget friendly. I think just like Zara, I previously mentioned, their style is great. So again, it's not a video debating quality, but you know, you kind of got to sacrifice that when you're looking for more of a favorable price when you're trying to buy some clothing items. But from a style perspective, I think they're great. I think they look good. And if it fits you, I think this is a brand you should look at and pick something up, and it should be budget friendly, especially again, if you catch it on sale. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you're just passing through and you're like, oh, cool video. I knew about some of these brands. Some of them I forgot about, some of them I didn't know at all. Great. You know, I'm glad I could help you. Hopefully you stick around for more videos in the future. And depending on what we morph into, I want to make sure I keep providing value to you all as well. So if I missed anything or I just didn't add anything, say it in the comments below. I'm curious, where would you go or where do you go when you're running on a more leaner budget? Like always, I'll catch you in the next one.